And now we join Snackboy in Laurel, Maryland for a little ultra-violence. Anyway, welcome to Snackboy. It is 3:15 and it's time for a snack. I have to tell you, right before we started filming today, my good friends and producers, Carla and Tom, they looked at my big waxy forehead and they had one word for me: Propecia! Oh, people, it's sad, but Snackboy has as much hair in his ears as he does on his head. If anyone has any good advice as so I can have more hair on my head and less hair in my ears, please write to the Snackboy Studios and give a boy a break. Today's snack is about being babysat by the dude. Remember that business my dad used to run, that business where he sold auto parts and he had a lot of drivers and crazy kind of hicks working for him? Well, one of those guys was named the Dude, and I can't tell you his real name because I have no idea, but I can tell you the dude was quite the character. He had a long black ponytail, and he always said, "Hey, man," and he always referred to himself as the dude. He wouldn't say, he'd go, "Oh, the dude is hungry, is so hungry." And he also had a bad habit. He could be in front of the Queen of England, introduced, and presenting the Queen of England to the dude, and he would put his finger so far up his nose, and I don't care how long the phlegm globule was or whatever that he pulled out of his nose, dude would have no problem eating it right in front of you. He'd be like, "Dude is..." Anyway, dude one day was working on my dad's dune buggy, which my dad and the dude were constructing together out on the 1600 Okalona Street driveway. And I was such a good boy. I was like 8 years old, and I was watching TV, and Mom and Dad had to go to church. It was an afternoon church thing, and they had no one to watch poor little Terry. Oh, hon, the babysitter is sick, and there's no one to watch little Terry. And I called my sisters, I called everybody, and the neighbors aren't home. What to do? What to do? That's right, the only person that babysit poor Terry was the dude. So they were like, "Dude, will you babysit Terry?" And he was like, "I don't see why not. Right, little fella?" And he was kind of like the bus driver on The Simpsons. He was an enabler. He was a child enabler. But I'll tell you, that was the most fun I had being babysat my entire life. Because the minute my mom and dad were gone, dude said, "Hey, man, your parents are totally uptight. Going off to church, man. So worried about all the things you can and can't do. So anyway, I'm going to show you the coolest movie in existence. What's your favorite movie, man?" And I said, "Caddyshack." He goes, "No, A Clockwork Orange. I'm totally going to call over my friends." So dude called his best friend over. I don't remember his best friend's name. I think it was Phil. And Phil was this really sloppy guy with sideburns that were longer and thicker than the forests of Bolivia. Were long and thick. And we all started watching A Clockwork Orange, and they started lighting up the joints. And they were like, "Oh, dude, it's the ultra horror show. Me and my drugs are gonna hang." You know, that's like Clockwork Orange speak. And I was in heaven. My mother wouldn't even let me watch anything that was PG-13 or rated R. So I was like, this is too perfect. And we watched the ultra violence of A Clockwork Orange. And they're like, "Dude's too young for a joint, but not for brownies." So we went in the kitchen, and they let me have brownie batter, people. Oh, how yummy. How rebellious. Oh, yes. And then Mom came home. That's right, they got into church, and Pastor Javins had sent them home. Pastor Javins and his wife were feeling ill. And guess who they caught eating brownie batter? Guess who they caught with the rated R horror show in the background? Me and the dude's friend. And just at the moment that they came in, the dude was electrocuting himself because the dude was very into electronics, but the dude had a habit of electrocuting himself. So they walked open, the door opened, and the dude freaked out. And, "Oh, dude! Oh, fuck! Whoa!" And my mother went, "What? What? Oh, who said the F word?" And of course it was the dude. And she said, "Turn it off! Turn it off! I do not raise my children to watch smut! S-M-U-T! Terrence, I am ashamed of you, and dude!" "Oh, dude," said Susan. "Oh, dude, I trusted you with my son. Children should not be represented with filth. They need the moral high ground, dude." And he said, "Sue, I totally didn't mean anything by it. It's just, he's a cool kid. I wanted him to enjoy a cool movie and have some cool brownie batter. Sue, what's life if it's not for the living? What is life if it's not for the living?